Welcome in, everyone. It's time. It's basketball season, or men's basketball tournament season. I'm only touching on the men's side. I don't have time to make a women's bracket this year, but yeah, we are going to be creating my one official bracket. I'm going to be creating a second one by myself later on, but this will be through the ESPN Men's Tournament Challenge. I got it all set up. I got it ready to go. I will need to pull it up though before I need to get it pulled up really quick. I want to get some people in here first before we officially get going. Okay, phone, why are you being slow? Okay, go here, go here, go here, share. Da, 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 da. Let's go here, and let's go here. Nope, that's not what I want. I wanted paste. Wow, okay. Oh, duh. Duh. Let's go here. And let's go here and here. All right, got some sent the stream out. Alrighty, we get people in. I'm gonna go ahead and get the bracket pulled up. There we go. All right, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do here? I want to do that one. Yeah, that's the one I want to do. Let's have this go at the bottom here. Actually, it's probably best if I have that tick across the bottom, because that's probably going to be best. Have that scroll across the bottom. There we go. I'm just waiting for people to get in now. Hopefully people come in. Oh shoot, actually, hold on a second. Let me do something. Let me go do something really quick. Give me just a second. Alrighty, had to go throw on the Ninja Syndicate polo, which is a new website that Jersey Ninja is going to be coming out with. It'll have all, if you guys watch the video, It'll have all of the polos. It'll have all of the it'll have all the pants, Hawaiian shirts, socks. It's basically gonna be a clothing website rather than it be part of Jersey Ninja. So give me just a second here. We're gonna actually have someone come on with us. I'm seeing if a couple people want to join in. One of them's Elijah. I do know that. And this one is going to be my my first bracket. So I do have a second one. We're going to have Iowa State go all the way. Far too drunk to join. Fair. Good choice then. All right. So Elijah, the link's going to you. Paste. Is sent. All right, we're going to have Elijah join us here in just a second before we officially get going. Because the first 4 start tonight. No, the first 4... And I already did mine. Okay, so Jake already did his. Is there a way I can actually look at his really quick? I wonder if there is. Hold on. Is there a way I can look at his? If there's a way I can look at his, that'd be great, because I would really like to. Groups. YouTube series. I just happened to see. Okay, so I see Jake's got both of his. Let's see if can I look at his picks? You're a little early. Brackets will appear soon. Okay, so I cannot look at what he picked. Looks like my buddy Scott's got the Cyclones. Elijah will join us here in a moment. Actually, I should probably keep him off until I know he's ready. Yeah, so yeah, I can't look at any of the brackets. So let's go ahead and get mine going. All right. Okay, so can I add music into the background? If so, I want to. I'm gonna add music into the background. Let's see, how's this one sound? Not playing yet. How's this one? This is gonna be background music. I can. All right, so Elijah is going to be backstage, but yeah, he's right there technically. But yeah, he's backstage. I'm gonna see. One bracket. Only doing one. Yeah, just getting the background music going. Music is fine. Okay, sweet. All right, so let's go ahead and get rolling into the bracket challenge. We're gonna take an odd approach at this. We're actually gonna start at the bottom half of the bracket here. Why? Because I want to be different. So we're gonna start off with North Carolina and Wagner. Looking at the team summary, it looks like RJ Davis has basically leads the one that leads the team, leads the team in points per game, rebounds per game, and no, rebounds per game goes to Armando Bacot. Yeah, I don't think Wagner's Wagner. Congratulations, you made the tournament, but I do not see North Carolina having issues. I'm picking the Tar Heels out of that one. Next up, let's go. Oh, let's just finish the West. All right. Next up, this one's interesting. Mississippi State and Michigan State. I saw this matchup get picked, and I thought this was going to be a really good game from the start. You know, it's funny. It's just the West region, but game is being played in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is on the east side of the United States. That makes no sense. Looking at notable results for Mississippi State, a win over Tennessee, loss over Alabama twice, split series against Auburn, beat Tennessee twice, and then it looks like they lost to Auburn in the SEC tournament. And then looking at Michigan State here, a win over Baylor, which looks really good actually, because I think Baylor is... Where's Baylor? Baylor's a 3 seed, so that win looks really good. It looks really good for them. Split series against Illinois, swept by Purdue, and the loss to Wisconsin looks like the key factors here. This one's going to be a really interesting game for me. It's already tough to pick this one. But to be quite frank, I don't know if you guys can actually see that. Yeah, you guys can. Okay. To be quite frank, this is a real coin toss for me. Either team can win this game. They really can. Looking at the records, only technically 1.5 games separate each team. I'm assuming Mississippi State played one more game than Michigan State did. Tournament for conference tournament wise. This one's interesting. Non-con doesn't matter. Non-conference doesn't matter. Well, I mean, Elijah, looking at it now, it does look like a really good win. Even though it doesn't matter because it was non-conference, looking at it now, considering Baylor is a 3 seed, that win looks really good for them. I'm gonna pick Michigan State. I'm gonna pick the upset on this one. I don't know why, but I'm gonna pick that one. St. Mary's and Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon had a better year than St. Mary's. This game being played at the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena in Spokane, Washington. Looking at some of the notable results for St. Mary's. Which ones do I look at here? I can technically look at the New Mexico game. Actually, no, that's not really that important. The loss to Xavier, that one's a key one to look at. And then wins over Colorado State, San Francisco twice. A split regular season series with Gonzaga, but ultimately beating Gonzaga in their conference tournament. Then looking at Grand Canyon, Wins over San Diego State, which that actually does look really good considering the fact San Diego State was in the Final Four last year. Liberty, Louisiana Tech. Seattle U looks like they split the regular season series and then beat them in their conference tournament. And then a win over Stephen F. Austin. Can't really go off of much for that one, but knowing how St. Mary's does play, because I know a little bit of them. Disagree. Iowa beat them by 15 at Michigan State. Well, then again, but then again, you guys didn't play Mississippi State either, so I can't compare it just because Iowa played them. And you can't even really do that because you can't really compare that because Iowa's not even in this year's tournament, which honestly sucks because I would really have liked to see Iowa in this year's tournament, but they're gonna go win the NIT anyway, so. Which looks like they're already up 11 on Kansas State tonight, so that's pretty good. I'm gonna pick St. Mary's in this one. That one just seems easy. That one just seems like an easy pick. But then again, don't count out a double-digit seeded team to make it to the Sweet 16 because they one's done. At least one has done it in what 10 of the last 13 years. I believe that's what I saw. But yeah. Moving on down, we got Alabama and Charleston. Looking at Charleston, looks like Charleston had a much better year this year than Alabama did. Looking at some of the key results, a loss to Purdue, who is a #1 seed, a loss to Creighton, Arizona, and Tennessee, a split series with Auburn, and then a loss to Kentucky and Tennessee. Then looking at Charleston's key wins, got swept by UNC Wilmington, sorry. Win over Drexel, win over, I don't even know how you pronounce that one. A win over St. Joseph's, I know that team I recognize. The loss to Florida Atlantic, which Florida Atlantic, I believe is in the same seat, they're an 8 seed. Okay. But that doesn't really matter. It was a loss. And then the win over Liberty. Looking at Alabama's, they're coming off a really tough stretch here. Because Tennessee, because Alabama was 1 and done in the SEC tournament. And Charleston, you know what? This is gonna be one of my big upsets. I'm picking Charleston over Alabama. Am I? I can change it if I want to. Oh, that's tough too. What do you got to say about that, Elijah? Wow. What do you got to say about that? I mean, because knowing the one stat where a double-digit seeded team has made it to the Sweet 16 in 10 of the last 13 years, one of them is going to this year. It's going to happen. Bama easy in my opinion, but it is March. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is a tournament where anything can happen. What's the spread? Does it say that in the preview? Oh, it does. Down here. No, it doesn't. Points per game is 90.8. Opponents' point per game looks like Charleston has held their opponents to less points than Alabama has. Alabama is 2-7 against top 25 teams. Charleston's only played 1. Charleston also had a much better conference record, but that's not going to matter. Number 4 seeds have won 78.9% of meetings with number 13 seeds. At least one number 13 seed has beaten a number 4 seed in 27 of the 38 tournaments. Now, see, that's a stat you got to keep an eye on. That's the stat that intrigues me. And that's the stat that's going to keep me with Charleston. Not out yet. Usually doesn't until a day prior. I have my double digit. Ooh! You'll have to tell me yours, Elijah. I'll look at it here in a second because I know you're gonna post it. Because I can't look at the brackets until the tournament starts, which really sucks. Moving on down, we got Clemson and New Mexico. Now, granted, I don't know anything about Clemson. I don't even know how they did this year. 2-11 on the year. Looking at their notable results, win over Alabama, win over TCU, which TCU I thought I saw was a 9 seed. Yeah, they are. Lost to North Carolina, lost to Duke, lost to Virginia, a win at North Carolina, who is the 1 seed. So that win actually looks really good for them, especially when it's a road win. A win over Pittsburgh, and then outed against Wake Forest in the ACC tournament. And now looking at New Mexico's notable results, you got a split series over San Diego. Win over Utah, which Utah does play TCU up here, which we'll get to that. We'll get to that a little bit later. That was a split series too. Win over Colorado State. Split series over Boise State. And a win over San Diego State. Looking at this. The last time a number 6 seed won all 4 meetings with number 11 seeds in a single tournament was 2004. That I'm going to keep an eye on. I'm going to remember that for when I come to probably one of these other ones. But for now, I'm probably going to pick Clemson on that one. I think that one kind of is an easy win. An easy choice on that one. Next up, you have Baylor against Colgate. Baylor with a notable loss to Iowa State, who goes on to beat Houston in the Big 12 title game. We'll get to them later on. All their notable losses. They also beat Iowa State back in February 3rd, so a little over a month and a half ago. Split series against BYU. And a win over Kansas. Which, granted, Kansas was not that good this year. I don't even know how they're a 3 seed this year. Oh, shoot. And then Colgate's notable notable results. Lots of L's. Out of the Ivy League, I think Baylor's got that one. I think they got that one easily. All right. Dayton and Nevada. A 7 and a 10 seed. Looking at the notable results for Dayton. Lost to Northwestern, lost to Houston, lost to Cincinnati. Dayton had a lot of games against Big 12 teams this year. Split series against VCU, which I know how good they are. They can be good. Iowa State had issues with them in their invitational back in November. Or was it December when that happened? It was either around Thanksgiving or around Christmas. I know it was one of those two. Going back here. Who was your double digit seed? Who was your double digit seed, Elijah? I guess I could have just asked that. So yeah, that's the notable results for Dayton. Looking at Nevada out of the Mountain West, win over TCU. Wow, TCU had a lot of losses. Holy shit. Split series against San Diego. split series. No, swept by New Mexico. A win over Utah State, and wins over Boise State and UNLV. And I'm assuming UNLV was the conference tournament, because I know conference tournaments started and ended at different days. What's the one important stat to keep an eye on? Number 7 seeds have won 60.9% of all meetings with number 7 seeds. In the past 2 years, 7 seed have won 6 of the 8 meetings. So that means that there's been at least one elimination. But 10 seed has beaten a 7 seed. I think the 7 seed's gonna get this one. At least I'm gonna pick Dayton on that one. And then Arizona and Long Beach State. Looking at the notable wins for Arizona. Win over Duke, win over Wisconsin. Actually, a really good battle with Purdue, to be honest. Yes, it was an 8-point loss, but I mean, hey, Purdue kind of ran through people this year. Win over Alabama, a loss to Florida Atlantic. That one's interesting. Swept the Utes and lost to Washington State. Oh, and then Long Beach. A win over Michigan. Okay. That's a good win. That actually is a really good win for Long Beach. Split the regular season series with UC Irvine, and then it looks like they beat them in their conference tournament just a couple of days ago. Looking at the key stat to keep an eye on. Number 2 seeds are 141 and 11 versus number 15 seeds, 92.8%. However, for the first time ever, a 15 seed has won a first round game in each of the past 3 tournaments. That does not continue at least with this game. I'm gonna pick Arizona in that one. Do I finish out the region? Michigan went 8-26. Wow. Well, knowing Michigan's past. Okay. Granted, I don't know how. I did not know how Michigan did this year, so that goes to show how much I know. Do I finish out this region? Is the real question. That is the real question. Do I go ahead and finish out this region? Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and just finish out this region. North Carolina and Michigan State. I think North Carolina has one of the easiest paths to the Sweet 16. And I think so does St. Mary's if Charleston does beat Alabama. So yeah, I think the first Sweet 16 matchup will be North Carolina and St. Mary's. These next two are going to be tricky. Clemson and Baylor. Ooh. I think Baylor makes it back to the Sweet 16. That's honestly good, because I know how good Baylor actually is. Because I've seen them firsthand. And then Dayton, Arizona. You know what? It's gonna be a 2 versus 3, and a 1 versus 5 in the Sweet 16, and then to send them to the, and then for the Elite 8, we'll do the regional championships all together. North Carolina, St. Mary's. Honestly, that's a really tough one, but I think but knowing that how North Carolina has somewhat of an easy path to the Sweet 16, I think they can get it to the Elite 8 as well. But now this next one's going to be really tricky. Arizona and Baylor. I don't need that. 2 seeds are 36 and 23 against number 3 seeds. And then looking at some of the important stats here. Baylor's 5-5 versus top 25, and Arizona's 3-3. Oh, that's cool. Honestly, I think I go an upset here. I think I go Baylor. Current Big 12 versus future Big 12, because we're gonna get this matchup. If this matchup actually does happen, we're gonna get this matchup next year in basketball. Yeah, give me Arizona. Give me Arizona. It's going to be the top 2 seeds out of the West that make it to the regional championship. And then let's go over to the Midwest, where technically I don't even know who to pick out of this game because I can't even preview it right now. But to be quite honest, I don't think it's really much of an issue to pick. I think whoever makes it here, Purdue's going to win it. It's Middle Tennessee State, and I don't know who this is. But yeah, I think Purdue is gonna get out of the first round. There shouldn't be much of an issue. Granted, they did get outed in the semifinals in the Big Ten tournament, which actually was a real shocker. All right, Utah State and TCU here. This one's gonna be interesting. Let me look at TCU's notable results, because I know Iowa State is probably going to be one of them. Yeah, the swept by Iowa State. Split series with Baylor. The loss to BYU, and then this was the tournament. This was the conference tournament against Houston, because this was the 14th. The loss to Houston, that was a really bad game for TCU. And to be quite honest, I don't think TCU is going to get out of the first round. They looked like absolute crap against Houston. But then again, actually, no, I can't even say they looked like crap against Houston because Houston looked like crap against Iowa State. So, either way, I'm going to pick Utah State out of that one. Next up, you have Gonzaga and McNeese in Salt Lake City. Looking at notable results, Purdue ran through them. UConn ran through them. Yeah, Gonzaga did not have a good year this year. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat that. Gonzaga had a really bad year this year. However, I still think they are one of the top teams in college basketball in recent years. I'm gonna pick Gonzaga out of that one. It kind of sucks Gonzaga doesn't have a football team because I think they would have really slick jerseys. NK, now Kansas being a 4 seed, that's a shocker already. But I think they got a really easy opponent out of the first round because they have a loss to Iowa State. But then again, looking at their notable losses, they've lost to BYU, they've lost to Baylor, they've lost to Houston. Kansas was a really bad road team this year. It's safe to say that this was one of, if not their worst year in recent memory. Because Kansas is notably known for being a really good basketball team. Looking at some of Samford. Looking at some of Samford's notable results. None of these guys are even in this tournament this year, so yes, I think Kansas does get out of this first round, but I'm gonna pick this next round, pick this game immediately. Gonzaga takes them. Kansas was a really bad team this year. Like there's not. Yeah, this was just not a good year for Kansas. And then I'll just do that one really quick. I got Purdue will get out of the get into the Sweet 16. Going to the bottom half of the bracket, South Carolina and Oregon. Looking at South Carolina, both teams actually had a really decent year this year. South Carolina being one of only a few teams that I've seen with notable matchups against Alabama. That game actually ended up being a loss, a really bad one too. Split series against Tennessee. Swept by Auburn, and I think Auburn was the conference title, or not conference title, conference championship. Give me Oregon out of this one. I'm not even gonna look at that one. I'm just gonna. Yeah. All right. Thanks. Thanks for joining, Elijah. He's got to head out, but hopefully you guys are still tuning in. Yeah, we got Oregon here. I'm taking Oregon over South Carolina. One of the 11 seeds is going to make it out, and I think Oregon's going to be that one team. Looking at Creighton versus Akron. Actually, I got something really cool. I'm gonna announce here. When we get to Iowa State's region, Creighton and Akron. Get me Creighton. I'm not even gonna look at that one because that one's kind of an easy pick. Texas versus Virginia or Colorado State. Texas kind of. I can't even look at the preview on this game. I really can't. Can I even look at the first four? I cannot. Give me Texas out of that one. Even though I don't think Texas had a good year this year. All right, and then St. Peter's in Tennessee. And then once I'm done with this one, I'm going to take a quick break here. I'm going to go use the restroom really quick. I should have gone before I started. Looking at notable matchups, where Tennessee lost to Purdue, lost to Kansas, and then into their conference schedule, win over Bama. Swept Bama, actually. Looks like split series with Kentucky. And a win over Auburn, and a loss to Texas A&M, who ended up going to the SEC title game. Whoops. All right. Tennessee. I'm gonna pick Tennessee out of that one. I'm not even gonna probably look at St. Peter's. Nothing against the Peacocks, but yeah, I'm gonna pick them. Creighton and Oregon. Do I have a double-digit seed going to the Sweet 16 this side of the bracket? I do not, and I don't think Oregon's going to overpower Creighton. And then Texas, Tennessee. Change up the music really quick. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna download a song really quick. Hold on. Whoops! Don't mind the paper towels. Is it just on this? Okay, yeah, it is. YouTube to MP3. I'm gonna add a couple songs to this playlist because this rock is pretty good. I do like that. But I need to change this up. Acoustic cinematic? What's that? Nah, 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 nah. Okay, let's get some good music going. I'll take a quick pause here and get some of the NCS music that I know that I listen to. How's this sound? I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to hear that. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's a good one. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to actually hear this music until I actually get it in there. Download. Down. Okay, back here. Add music. Add music. Music. Delete that. All right, then let me go get one more here. Da, 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 da. I do some of these hour-long ones, but I'm not gonna do that. I actually need to listen to some of these so that way I can actually have a couple options, rather than just do a couple of the ones that I like. Let's see. Shots fired. Copy. Okay, got that's in there. All right, now I just gotta get one more. One more, guys. We're just taking a quick pause here. If you're watching, go ahead and comment, guys. Want to see what you guys are up to. I guess I can pull me up here really quick while I do this. Download. Yep, save that here. Convert text. Da 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 da. Who else? What else do I want to do? I can't do any of the songs that I listen to because that'll get copyrighted instantly. Yeah, it'll get copyrighted instantly. Any of the songs that I pick, because I can pick some good songs. What's this? Actually, I can get down with this. I get down with this. Okay. Oh yeah, that actually sounds pretty good. That sounds badass. I don't know if you guys can actually hear it. I don't know if you guys can actually hear it, but that actually sounds pretty good. Add music. Oh, I gotta wait for it to download. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this first song and get it going. Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. All right. Yeah. All right. We're good. All right. Let's get back to picking. Let's get back to picks here. All right. Finishing out the Midwest region. Texas versus Tennessee. I'm gonna turn that down a little bit because that's a little loud. There we go. All right, I want to be able to hear myself over it. Texas, Tennessee. That's gonna be a really good matchup, actually. Since 2015, 2 seeds are 8 and 9 versus number 7 seeds. Despite that, 2 seeds are 60 and 27 against 7 seeds overall. So 8 and 9 since 2015. So with that being said, I'm actually gonna pick. Wait. Hold on. 2 seeds are 8 and 9. Okay, see, I'm gonna pick Texas. Texas is gonna go all the way to the Sweet 16, and hell, I'm gonna have them. Yeah, I'm gonna have Creighton beat them, and then I'm gonna have Purdue beat them. So it's gonna be Creighton and Purdue in the Elite 8 before we get to the Final 4. All right, moving on up. Let's do the South region first before we do Iowa State's region, because this one isn't going to be my biased bracket. Now, do I still think Iowa State has a good chance of going to the Final 4? Abso-freaking-lutely. With them being the 2 seed, they don't have to worry about playing UConn until they get to right here. So, looking over here, we have Houston versus Longwood. That's an easy pick. Houston. That's a really easy pick. All right, this next one's gonna be this one's gonna be really either my neck's gonna get wrong, or I'm gonna get cold clocked in the face if I pick this one incorrectly. Memphis, Tennessee, the FedEx Forum, Nebraska, and Texas A&M. Looking at the notable matchups here, wins. The only non-conference game you need to look at here is the loss to Creighton, a split with Wisconsin, win over Purdue. Actually, that one's interesting. Swept by Illinois, and the loss to Northwestern. Texas A&M, a loss to Houston. If I pick them, that's who they're going to play next. That's their only non-conference game it looks like I need to look at. The loss to Auburn. A win over Kentucky. Looks like a season series split with Tennessee. And absolutely get demolished by Alabama. Good Lord. And then the last one to take a look at is a 5-point loss to the Florida Gators in the SEC tournament championship. 9 seeds have won 13 of 20 meetings with 8 seeds in the past 5 tournaments. I hate Nebraska. Give me Texas A&M in the upset on that one. All right, next up, Wisconsin, James Madison. I'm not even gonna look at this one. I'm gonna pick the Big Ten champs. Rightfully deserving Big Ten champs. They did win the Big Ten, right? They did, right? No, the Illini did. Looks like the Illini did. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna pick Wisconsin because Illinois. Where is Illinois? I don't think I. Oh yeah, they're in the same region as Iowa State is. Okay. All right, and then Duke, Vermont. Give me Duke because Duke. Well, it's Duke. All right, Texas Tech, NC State. Big 12 versus ACC. Looking at some of the key matchups for Texas Tech. All of them are conference, so looks like 2 losses to Houston, win over BYU, lost to Baylor, win over Kansas. Like I said, Kansas did not have a good year this year. Lost to Iowa State, split series with Baylor, and sweeps BYU. And then looking at NC State here, oh, that's right. NC State with a dominant win over, it wasn't even that dominant. It was only an 8-point win. But, NC State coming in as the ACC champion, but being an 11 seed. That, I really think they got snubbed, to be quite honest. And is that bad to say? That they got snubbed? You know what? Just because they got snubbed, they're gonna get to the round of 32, and they're gonna get in a matchup with Kentucky. All right, Boise State, Colorado versus Florida. Give me Florida. Even if Boise State gets there, I am a Broncos fan. I do not think they get out of. I do not think they get out of that first round. All right. Marquette, Western Kentucky. Give me Marquette. Even though I really think Iowa State should be the one that's over here, because I think Iowa State has a much better resume than what Marquette does, but I'm not going to get into that. That's not something I'm going to cross. I just really think Iowa State should have been the best 2 seed, because looking at the AP poll, they are the number 4 team in the nation, but that's beside the point. Finishing off the South region, it'll be Houston and Texas A&M. A&M's going to get a chance of getting revenge. However, Houston's going to get that one. Wisconsin and Duke, that's going to be like, oh my god. Give me. It's not Coach K anymore. If it was Coach K, this would be a more easier decision. I'm picking Wisconsin. Because Duke, without Coach K, is not the same Duke. Yes, they are a number 4 seed, but they didn't win the ACC tournament. Yet, NC State won the ACC tournament. They're a lower seed. Yes, I think Duke's going to be going to be furious. They're going to take the anger out on Vermont, but they're going to have a really high-powering offense from Wisconsin to take care of, too. Looking at NC State and Kentucky. Excuse me. Give me NC State. Think that there you go. There's my double-digit seed out of or into the Sweet 16. NC State. I think that's a really good choice too. I think it's a very good choice. Conference champion, making it there. That's actually a really good choice. And then they're going to unfortunately have to battle with... Ooh, actually, whoever I pick here is actually going to determine who I pick here. I'm going to pick Florida. Which means I'm going to have NC State go all the way to the Elite Eight. And then out of here, I'm going to pick Houston. They're going to be in the Elite Eight. And then that's the championship for the South region. Now, let's get into... Iowa State's region in the East region. UConn and Stetson, that should be an easy walk in the park. Stetson, UConn is one of the best teams in all of college basketball, and I'm not gonna deny that. Looking at this one though, sorry guys, I don't know why I'm yawning so much. FAU and Northwestern. FAU had a really freaking good year this year. Holy crap! I think they won their conference. I think they won their conference title game. I think they did. And then go and look at Northwestern. Oh my god, sorry guys. Sorry guys, I don't know what's going on. I'm like tired all of a sudden. All right. Was that looking at Northwestern's notable games? Looks like a loss to Wisconsin in the tournament. Nine seeds have won 13 of 20 meetings with 8 seeds in the past 5 tournaments. You know what? Respect to Northwestern. Respect to the north side of Chicago. But I'm picking FAU. All right. Next. Ooh, and Iowa State is the last part of this bracket. Hell yeah. The 5 seed San Diego State, who went to the Final Four last year, versus UAB. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. Alright. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take a quick break here. From right here. I'm going to go get something to drink. So go get a drink really quick. Give me just a second. Alrighty, I got a drink. It should stop me from yawning for a little bit. Not caffeine, but something to drink is going to be better than nothing to drink. Alright, we were looking at San Diego State and UAB. What the heck? It's like I didn't yawn at all going to grab something to drink. The instant they come back and start talking is when I start yawning. That's so stupid. San Diego State, UAB. San Diego State going all the way to the Final Four last year. Looking at some of their notable wins here. Win over Gonzaga, win over Utah State, win over New Mexico. Losses to UNLV and Boise State, but got UNLV back. So split regular season series. A win over Utah State, and then win over New Mexico. Or the loss to New Mexico, sorry. So they split the series with New Mexico. Oh crap. And then UAB. A win over Memphis. A win over Florida Atlantic. That's interesting to keep an eye on. Florida Atlantic being an 8 seed. Good lord, a crappy loss to Memphis. And then wins over SMU and South Florida. I already have a double-digit seed going all the way to Sweet 16. Give me San Diego State. All right, and then Auburn and Yale. Give me Auburn in that one. All right, Big 12. Big 12 versus, I don't even know who this is. This is BYU and Duquesne. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Looking at the notable results for BYU, all of them looks like they are Big 12. So split series against BYU. The win over Iowa State earlier in the year, back in January. Lost to Houston. Wins over. I already mentioned that one. Wins over Kansas and TCU. Split series with Iowa State, and then a loss to Texas Tech in the Big 12 tournament. Looking at Duquesne here, lost to Nebraska, Dayton, and St. Joseph's. Excuse me. A win over St. Bonaventure. Split series against Dayton, and sweeps VCU. Excuse me, sorry. Give me BYU out of that one. BYU was really tough this year, especially as an Iowa State fan. All right, and then Illinois and Morehead State. Illinois being the Big Ten champion. Give me Illinois in that one. All righty. Now, the news that I want to explain to you guys. I'm going to witness these two games. So, I'm going to Omaha for these two games, so I'm really excited for that. The first game, obviously, will be Iowa State versus South Dakota State, and then the second game will be Washington State versus Drake. I will not be staying till Saturday to see round 2. I am only going Thursday. But looking at this matchup, Washington State and Drake, I would really like to see Drake win this. I really would. Looking at Washington State's final. Oh, hold on a second. Okay, sorry. I had to blow my nose there for just a second. Looking at the notable results for the final edition of Washington State's Pac-12 schedule. A split series with Utah, a loss to a split series with Colorado, swept Arizona, which that actually looks really good for them because Arizona ended up being a 2 seed. And it looks like a loss to Washington and a loss to Colorado in the Pac-12 tournament. And Drake, looking at some of these guys, completely swept Bradley. Split regular season series with Indiana State, win over Nevada, and then beats Indiana State in the Missouri Valley Conference Championship. I said no biased on this one. This isn't biased. I really think Drake's going to get the win. And then looking at Iowa State and South Dakota State. Actually, there's one stat I want to look at. 2 seed. Yep, I've already looked at this one. However, for the first time ever, 15 seed has won a first round game in each of the past 3 tournaments. I think I've already got a 15 seed winning. No, I don't. Actually, just to change that. Actually, no, I can't. I could have Western Kentucky win. Actually, no. I think Iowa State can comfortably get out of that first round. And then I'm not going to be there for this game, unfortunately. But and like I said, this isn't biased because I think Iowa State is Final Four capable. I don't think they're championship capable. And I'll get to where they get eliminated here in a few. But going to a battle of Iowa in the round of 32, Iowa State back to the Sweet 16. They will play. You know what? I think Illinois. So that'll be a really interesting matchup. Iowa State and Illinois. That would be good. All right, and then FAU, UConn easily. And then San Diego State and Auburn. Give me San Diego State. If San Diego State is anything like what they were last year, they could make it back to the Elite Eight. All right, and then back down here. Like I said, no bias here, but I think Iowa State can actually tussle with Illinois. So I'm going to pick Iowa State there. And then I'm going to pick UConn to beat San Diego State. Now we're on to the regional finals. Iowa State, UConn, that one's going to be tough. If Iowa State wants to win that game, because they've beaten Houston. If they can beat Houston, they definitely can beat UConn. 1 seeds are 37 and 30 against number 2 seeds. Since 2017, 1 seeds have won 4 of the past 5 meetings. But here's the thing. Oh, Iowa State is 6 and 5 against top 25. UConn is 7 and 2. I haven't even looked at Iowa State's notable matchups. Most of them are actually losses. Or no, most of them are wins. Only 3 of them are losses. The loss to BYU, to Baylor, and then Houston in Houston. Like I said, I think Iowa State is Final Four capable. And I think they do make the Final Four. Houston, North Carolina State or NC State. Houston. That one's kind of easy, even though Houston actually no longer has their head coach. As far as I remember, or did I hear something wrong about that? I think Houston fired their head coach. I think. I'm gonna double check that. No. No. So Houston still has their head coach. Going to Creighton and Purdue. You know what? I think Purdue chokes here. I'm going to pick Creighton in that one. And then for this one, North Carolina and Arizona. Give me North Carolina. All right. And then now to the Final Four here. Okay. Here's a real possibility. Houston versus Iowa State. Part 4. Iowa State fans would travel for that heavily. No. You know what? I think this is where Iowa State's run does come to an end here. I'm going to pick North Carolina. And they're going to go up against... let me get the last song going really quick. Get the last song. Houston. So North Carolina, Houston, and the national champion will be... I would love this to be the final. I would love that to be the final. Actually, you know what? I said they were Final Four capable. Iowa State will win the national championship. If this is the final, North Carolina will. If this is the final, that could be an interesting toss-up. I actually don't know who would win this because I don't know how Iowa State had. I don't know how what Iowa State's history is against Creighton. I really don't know what. But if it's this one, it'd be North Carolina. You know what? I'm going to do Iowa State and Creighton. Actually, no. I'd much rather us lose in the Final Four rather than the championship if we do make it there. Because if we make it here, I will not be mad if we lost. Yes, I might be upset, but I can't be mad. But there is that possibility that Iowa State does make it here. And if they do, Iowa State will win it. Trying not to be biased here. I really am not. Actually, you know what? North Carolina is going to beat us. We're going to be able to get by one number 1 seed. We're not going to be able to get by 2. I can probably legit see that. Now, Houston and Creighton. Oh, Houston. The absolute destruction by Iowa State that Iowa State gave them is what's really making me think about this game. Because Creighton can do literally the same thing. I'm gonna go Houston, and I'm gonna pick North Carolina, and it's in the total points. What was the total points for the Iowa State and Houston game? $101. No, 110. I'm going to say 97. So yeah, that's going to be my bracket. I'm going to have North Carolina win the national championship as my first bracket. I'm going to make my second bracket. I'm probably going to do the same exact results, but have Iowa State win it all. Yep, there it is. I am not sharing that. Yep, I'm going to have North Carolina win the national championship after beating Iowa State in the Final Four. But yeah, that is my... Oh, shoot. That was my NCAA men's basketball tournament. That's my first bracket. I'm going to create my second bracket off camera. For the people that did stick around, thank you guys for tuning in. I much appreciate you guys sticking with me, as this did end up going a little bit longer than what I wanted to. But we got it done. So yeah, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Until the next time I see you guys, because I did plan on doing this today. I don't know what my next thing is going to be. I guess we'll just find that out when it... guess we'll find that out when we come to it. So until next time, you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. See ya.